Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a football GM video because something happened. I was in school. This is actually pretty annoying but silly. So I was doing something, and then I was trying to clear my history because like one of my teachers told me to or something. And I deleted my history, obviously. And then I found out that I had deleted like every part of it. So for some reason, my football GM league that was in 2026 got deleted. So we are now in a new league. In 2022, we are doing week 2 right now. DJ Garth of the Browns ran for 218 yards this week and 48 in week 1, but still, this is incredible. He has been insane so far this year. They're 2-0, and he is actually 4th in the league in the MVP race. And yeah, so here we are. We're going to look at the standings. The Jets and Browns are 2-0 in the AFC. None of the teams there are 0-2. And in the NFC, the Vikings and Bears are 2-0. With the 0-2 Niners and Panthers. So here we go. We're going to go through week 2. We've got the Seahawks led by quarterback Darrell King. They are without their linebacker Kevin Cook, so it'll be Desmond Williams, Shaquille Savage, and Trent Alexander at linebacker. Cornerback, we've got Nathan Carter and Julius Hunter. And John Hill and Ben Davidson are the cornerbacks. So Devontae Bain, Kim Willis, and Kevin Cook are 3 starters injured. That's not great for them. Yeah. By the way, this is a generated players league, new league. I just started it like today, I think, or yesterday. I don't remember, but it was very recently. The 1-0 Cardinals have Austin Miles out, backup running back, but he has the most yards out of all the running backs. Backup tight end is out too, and then it's Paris Dixon and Douglas Davis, a backup cornerback who already has a pick, is in for the injured Zach Fuqua. So here we go, and we've got the Seahawks and Cardinals first possession. And on the first play, Steve Wagner throws a pick. Nathan Carter picks it off, returns it 12 yards to the 17. So their first possession will start just in the red zone. Darrell King to Chris Wilson, 4 yards. And King to Chris Wilson, 13 yards on the next play for a touchdown. So 1 minute in, we've already got the Seahawks up 7-zip. Capitalizing on a big turnover by Steve Wagner. And the first full possession for the Cardinals is a Steve Wagner 24-yard pass to Matt Jackson for a touchdown. Jackson, 2 catches, 32 and a touchdown. Mark Harvey, a 20-yard catch. Blake Alston, 18-yard catch. And Chris Clapp with a 10-yard catch. So here we go. 7-7, 16-7 after 1. Kyle Hope is tackled in the end zone for a safety. And then Stephon Glenn, 2-yard reception from Steve Wagner for a touchdown. 16-7. But wait, first let me just see what happened on this play. Kyle Hope tackled by who? So the safety was by Marcus Stewart, the safety. The safety play was made by a safety. That's insane. And at the half, we got a 23-14 lead for the Cardinals. What a game we've got starting here. And 23-14, 30-21, 2 minutes left in the game. 2nd and 9 of their own 16. Wagner incomplete to Burton. 3rd down. Wagner drops back. Looks, he's got Chris Clapp. 13 yards, first down. Chris Clapp with 3 catches, 33 yards, and a big day here for the Cardinal offense. Handoff Trevor Burton, 2 yards. He has 49 yards today. Wow. Timeout, 2nd and 8. They are down to 1 timeout, I'm guessing. Handoff Burton. Flag, 9-yard run, but an offsides penalty is declined. They are out of timeouts. Wagner kneels. He does it again, and one more kneel, and that's it. Cardinals win. They are 2-0. Steve Wagner, 3 touchdown passes and a pick. 220 yards on 22 of 36 passing. 6 carries for negative 10 yards. Nice, Wagner. That's amazing. So, yeah, that's not good. Steve Wagner, he has 14 carries for 29 yards somehow as he ran for 39 last week. And now negative 10 this week. They have allowed 11 and 21 in their 2 games. So, Trevor Burton, 16 carries, 59 yards, a touchdown, as well as 1 catch for 16 yards. So he's their highest runner. He has 59 yards in 2 games. Oh, man. That's so good, dude. Yeah, that's not good. All right. Clayton Bishop, 11 carries, 42 yards. He's their number 2 rusher in yardage, and he's their 4th string running back. Their only receiver over 100 yards is Jakeem Barr, 16 catches, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he has a run for negative 1 as well. Blake Alston, 11 catches, 70 yards. And then Chris Clapp with 8 catches for 98 and a touchdown. And then over here we got Kentrell Williams, 2 sacks. 15 tackles, 3 of those for a loss. And then Jorge Buck and Rashad Crouch with 2 AV. Accumulated value. That's like how valuable they are to the team, basically. Marcus Stewart, what a season he's had at safety so far. A pick, 2 passes defended, 8 tackles, and a safety as a safety. Wow. And, yeah, so that's them. Now for the Seahawks. Darrell King, 3 touchdown passes, a pick, 2 of 58 yards in 2 games. Wow, that's awful. They can't throw the football. 78 rush yards in 2 games for him. He's playing well as a rusher. 96 yards on 22 carries this season for Hope. And 3 catches, 44 and a touchdown. They have scored 40 points in 2 games. So they're actually scoring points, but they can't get yards. I don't know what's going on. The defense has been pretty good. They've forced a couple turnovers. Okay, never mind. They've allowed 71 points in 2 games. But Seattle has forced 1 turnover. Okay, that's not even good either. I don't know what's going on. Why are they scoring so much? Are they just returning the ball like crazy? 2 sacks for Chase Olsen. And also a pick for Nathan Carter. That was the first play of the game today. Let's look at their returner. Who is the returner for this team? Yeah, he averages 26 yards on the kickoff return and 11 on the punt return. Where does that get them to on field position? Average start. Well, Dallas, in their win, their average start was the 44. But Seattle's average start is the 28-yard line. So that could be one reason why they're scoring points. But I don't know. They are 0-2 now. And the Cardinals improved to 2-0. Seattle is tied with the Niners for 0-2, as well as the Panthers. And then the Cardinals are now 2-0, tied with the Bears and the Vikings in the NFC for the best record in the league. And now the Falcons, a fully healthy squad, nobody's injured. And they're against the fully healthy Dallas Cowboys. And in the first quarter, Mike Johnson, to Andrew Bullock. Touchdown, 25 yards. See, 7 of 8 to start. Bullock, 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown in just the first quarter. And at the half, it's Bullock on another touchdown catch from Johnson. 7 catches, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first half for Andrew Bullock. It's 17-zip at the half. And Mays with another field goal, making it 20-0 going into the fourth. And it's Anthony Epps. 12-yard run into the end zone. John Sheets is out. The Cowboy defense. They've turned the ball over twice on offense. They're up 20-7. Wow. They just have been stopped all day by the Cowboy defense. And no turnovers forced. 20-7. Dallas wins it. Johnson passed the ball well. Bullock with a great game receiving. So Mike Johnson, 2-0, 45 of 62 for 506 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick. QBR of 117. I think this QBR is really like the passer rating. Like the same formula. Because that wouldn't make sense as a QBR. That's insane. But yeah. He's thrown for that many yards. That puts him third in the league in pass yards. 9 yards behind the second place man, Sam Perkins. I think it's Sam Perkins. I don't know. TJ Thomas, 22 carries, 80 yards, as well as 3 catches for 54. Andrew Williams, 14 carries, 59, 3 catches, 43, and a touchdown. And then Andrew Bullock, 15 catches, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the year. And then Edward Williams, 12 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown. So those two have played great to start the year. Kene Turner, 2 sacks in the first 2 games. And wait, what else did that say? A tackle for a loss. 3 sacks for linebacker Jerry Brown, as well as a tackle for a loss and 16 tackles. He had 1 sack against Denver in that win and 2 against Atlanta. They've allowed 17 points all year and have not picked off a single pass except for Kyle McShane, who has a pick, a pass defended, and 2 tackles. They are now improving to 2-0. John Sheets, the quarterback, the starting quarterback in Atlanta, is out for 4 games, so he will miss a long time. His brother Edwin Sheets is a free agent running back who also is from Maryland and went to college in the state of Ohio. I don't know why they did that, but he went to Ohio College. He went to Ohio State. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anthony Epps, 11 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown, as well as 4 catches for 60 yards. And Seth Wilbur, 16 carries for 9 yards. Wow. And 1 catch for 17. Then, John Hammer, 10 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. And Alec Fiacable, 7 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. 2 sacks for Dallas Moorer. And a pick for Kenny Kramer and Scott Romo, who has a pick, a pass defended, 22 tackles, and 2 of those 22 for a loss. Romo is 7th in the Defensive Player of the Year race. George Kohler, 2 picks and a sack at cornerback. He's literally the best defender in the league. He is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. And we got the Falcons falling to 0-2. So the 4 0-2 teams are in the same 2 divisions in the NFC. Wow. And then we got the Cardinals, Vikings, Bears, and Cowboys at 2-0 in the NFC. And in the AFC, it's just the Jets and the Browns. Next game, the 0-1 Patriots, who are fully healthy. That's 3 straight teams without injuries. And this team hasn't played yet, so they're not injured. So here we go. Texans, Patriots. Halftime, 24-zip. Matt Larson, pick 6 for the Patriots. They are dominating right now. Keith Brooks has thrown 2 picks in the first half. Wow. 45-0. Luke Huff with 2 rush touchdowns, and Dylan Browder with 1 as well. Crockett and Dixon with the other 2 touchdowns. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns and a field goal. Going into this quarter, it's 52-8. 52-15 final. New England, 182 yards running. Huff with 3 rushing touchdowns. Keith Brooks played better near the end of that game. And a 52-point performance for the Patriot offense. Jeb English in 2 games, 36-57, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick, as well as a 12-yard run. 2 games for Luke Huff. He has 228 yards on 40 carries and 5 touchdowns. So they are 1-1. Luke Huff is the MVP, as he has 5 rushing touchdowns in just 2 games. Dylan Browder, 21 carries at 108 yards and a touchdown, as well as a catch for 11. And then Alex Crockett, 10 catches, 124 and a touchdown. 2 sacks for Kyrus Richards. Petway with a pick at D-line. 2 sacks for Richards on the D-line as well. And Matt Larson with 2 picks already, one of them being a pick 6. Larson is the Defensive Player of the Year as of now. So, yeah. Patriots improved to 1-1. A loss for the Texans as Keith Brooks threw 3 interceptions. What an awful start to the 81 overall quarterback's career. Robert Carter, 10 carries for 21 yards. And then Donald Webster, 8 catches, 104, and 2 touchdowns, as well as 7 catches for 76 yards for Darren Sullivan. Yeah. So what a game for them. Jordan Ott was 0 of 1 on field goals and 1 of 1 on extra points, where he has 1 fantasy point in that game. And we got Denver, fully healthy except for Matthew Tarpley, the linebacker, who will be out. Kevin Gray will come in to start today. We got the Tennessee Titans in here with this game without David Clayton. So it'll be Kevin Cade, Dan Brown, Bryce Lynch, Taron Owens, and Geno Crutchfield on the O-line. So at the half, it is 9-6 Broncos. Tanner Atkinson has a passing touchdown to Jamie Grouden. No turnovers, by the way. And it's Broncos 9-6. Big quarter for the Titans. And Atkinson goes down. He's injured. Rasheed Wall is the quarterback in Tennessee. But he's 19 of 26 for 211 and a touchdown. 15-9. Touchdown! Jorgensen runs it in. And wow, 2 minutes remaining, and it's 23-21. That'll do it. Broncos win. Chris Ducre. Well, Tanner Atkinson is healthy again. He's 1-1. He gets credited with the win when it was really Ducre who carried the team that game. But okay. 25 of 41 for 327 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Ducre, 9 of 11 for 93 and a touchdown. What a game for him. Justin Jorgensen, 76 yards on 19 carries and a touchdown, 4 catches for 38. Jamal King, 2 carries, 8 yards. 96 yards for Groudon. Yeah, he had 7 catches, 96, and 2 touchdowns. Ravens linebacker Moses Groudon is also his brother. So, yeah. And we got Chidozie Houston, 11 carries for 48 yards and 10 catches, 150. So, yeah, that's a good offense for them. Rory Strong has a sack and 2 sacks for Beghorst, the linebacker. What a game for him. Yeah, he's good. 2 sacks in 2 games for him. And they improved to 1-1. Big loss for Rasheed Wall and his Titans. Well, Rasheed Wall is number 2 in pass yards behind the Viking quarterback. Sean Perkins is 3rd. He's been pretty good. So if they have that many pass yards, they must have a lot of yards from one guy, and it's Andrew McCall, the tight end with 12 catches, 224, and a touchdown. He had that touchdown this first week, and he's played really well this week too. Wait, so if it's PPR, which I think I put, that'll be 11.8. Yeah, okay, yeah, PPR is the fantasy one, which is points per reception, so you get 1 point per reception. Yeah. And there's been 4 sacks by the defense, all by different guys, and a pick by cornerback Justin Higgins. So the Titans fall to 0-2. The Broncos improved to 1-1. They are a playoff team right now. Wow. And the Titans are the worst team in the AFC at 0-2. But their point differential is -6. So they have played 2 very tight games. They lost 23-21 and 28-24. Wow. So we're almost done with this. We got 4 games remaining. Ike Smith is out, as well as Cutter Rogers. Rogers is not a starter, but Ike Smith is a starter, so they have Andre Clark in for him. And for the Washington football team, I'll change that to Commanders soon. I just downloaded the roster from the last year, so it's so it gets everything right, but it's they still had them listed as the Commanders here, or the football team. So it's 28-10 going into the 4th. 31-17. Touchdown. Summers to Cunningham. Extra point is good. Ben Sands onside kick recovered by Washington. And Cleary kneels twice, and that's it. Meredith. Oh my God. 22 of 24 for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns until he got hurt. That is some incredible football for him. What a game for Meredith. He got injured, though, in the process, but they improved to 1-1. And he's out for 2 games. So, in the first game, he threw 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. This game, he did well. And he is now number 2 in the league in pass yards, because the guy on the other team who lost is number 1 somehow. His QBR is good, and they won. So, yeah. John Cross, 26 carries, 147 yards, as well as 7 catches for 118 and a touchdown. And Bobby Murray, 12 catches, 154 yards, and a touchdown. And Darius Abdo with 10 catches for 113 yards. And a pick by Quinn Knox, and a sack by Brandon Griffiths and Matt Waldrop. And with Phillip Summers, my goodness, how is this team 0-2? He has 43 of 62 for 598 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick. And they're 0-2. And this is why. They have 84 rush yards. 96 rush yards from players who are supposed to run a bit. So, yeah. That is not enough. In 2 games, averaging like 48 game. Rod Tenuta, 16 catches, 202 touchdowns. Luka Reddick, 7 catches, 104 and a touchdown. Aaron Mitchell with 2 sacks. And yeah, so a big win for the Broncos over the Raiders. Raiders fall to 0-2, tied with the Titans for one of the worst teams in the league. And their point differential is -10. So they're losing close games as well. Wow. It's cool to see that because that just shows that they are just barely losing and they're not playing awful. Like, what have they done wrong? It's the defense who's been really bad. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sacks, though. So, yeah. It's the secondary who's been a problem. The Lions and Packers. Wait, let's see. Do the Raiders have, like, some of the most yards passing allowed? They're third. Yeah, they've allowed the third most yards. They have the worst pass defense in the league. And rush yard wise, they are 14th. So their average, their run defense is average. Their pass defense is dead last. Yeah. So we got the Lions, who are without starters Max Powell, Jamal Moore, and Connor Rodriguez. So it's Crowell, Davis, Toiliolo, and Kennedy on the D-line. Fields and Puller on the safety group. It's Ray, Kyle Ray, Kamala Cohen, Brendan Buckner, and Curtis McCray for the Lions. And for the Packers, the injuries are Ricardo Medina and Kyle Klein. The D-line, Klein is out, so it's Barry Murray Wilson, who has a sack, and Sonny Whitted, who has 3 sacks as the 5th highest rated defensive lineman on the team. Wow. And then on the O-line, it's Dan Hall, Tucker Appleton, Brandon Kearse, Matt Morgan, and Greg Cook. So here we go. We are almost at the end. 16-10, Packers win it. Both teams lose their quarterbacks to injury. The Lions had the better backup, but the run game of the Packers was too strong. They had 3 guys over 30 yards. Their backup quarterback ran for 32 as well, by the way. So, Adrian Grijo went out. He's out for 2 games. It looks like he's not going to. So, it's going to be Kyle Arneson for the start next week when they go up against the 1-1 New York Giants. Yeah. Their run game needs work. They have their top runner at 34 yards. He's ran it into the end zone twice, though. But he has 137 yards receiving, so that's a good sign. And J.R. Williams with 100 receiving yards. So that means Ted Ferguson is their leading receiver. Grijo is their leading runner. Well, this is weird, actually. The Lions are a weird team right now in this game. Just like they were in the old league. If you go back to it, they just didn't. Their offense wasn't it. Their defense was the best in the league, I think, for the past 4 years. First 4 years of the league. Weston Douglas with 3 sacks. He's the main reason why the Lions haven't allowed many points. The Packers, George Revis out for 3 games. And he is pretty good. Corbin Bach, 8 of 15, 72 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Not amazing, but he ran for 32 yards, so that was good. Then Troy Stone, 33 carries, 92 yards, 3 catches, 32. And Brent Williams, 21 carries, 93 and a touchdown, as well as 2 catches for 13 yards for Brent Williams. 93 receiving yards for Brian Sermons on 9 catches and a touchdown. And then 3 sacks still for him, Whitted. And 2 sacks for Shaheen and Sales. And wow, Junior Shaheen, 15 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, and a safety. Junior Shaheen is 4th in the Defensive Player of the Year race. Packers win. They improve to 2-0. And what the heck is going on in the NFC North? We got the Packers, Vikings, and Bears all 2-0. All playoff teams. The Lions are not a playoff team because I think they did that because they wanted to mix it out. The playoff team choices are Philly, New York, Los Angeles, Detroit, Washington, and New Orleans. But New Orleans hasn't played yet, so they don't really count. And here it is. New Orleans will play now. They actually made a signing already. That was Matt Stork at receiver. He is their 6th ranked receiver. But he might get some time today or tomorrow or next week or any time in the series. He's probably going to get some time on the field. So here we go. 7-0 Pittsburgh. And they are up as it's Alan Proctor to Robert Denlinger for an 11-yard touchdown. Chris Maiden, 2 picks thrown already. And that's why the Saints are going to lose probably 17-0. And oh my goodness, Chris Maiden is leading a comeback. Saints lead 21-17. Maiden has 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. And it's Proctor with a touchdown pass to Ray Bell. Maiden incomplete. Turnover on downs and Proctor kneels. So a comeback gets thwarted by the Steelers and Alan Proctor. He has 485 yards on 49 of 68 for 485, 3 touchdowns and a pick. In the first 2 games, they are 1-1. Jared Lopez, 22 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown, 3 catches for 32 yards as well. And then Ray Bell with 10 catches for 146 and a touchdown, as well as an 8-yard run. Brandon Moss, 12 catches, 106 yards. And yeah, Chester Maxwell with a sack, a pick, a pass defended, and 6 tackles and a tackle for a loss. Wow, what a season he started off with. And Tim Smith with 2 sacks. So we're almost done. Evan Hawley with a pick, as well as Ian Dent and David Usher. And then the Saints. Chris Maiden started off horrible, and then he got it going a little bit better later in the game. 7 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown for Damond Harris. Jared Lewis, 11 carries, 67 yards, and a catch for 7, I think. And this guy, Kevon Lawrence, if their team played better, he would get more AV. But he had a pick, a pass defended, and 2 sacks, and 8 tackles, and 1 for a loss, as well as a safety. So he's 4th in the league in Defensive Player of the Year, in the Defensive Player of the Year race after playing 1 game. That is insane. Yeah, what the heck? And now we got 1 more game before the end of week 2. Clyde Adams and Cole Dorsey are the starters out for the Chargers. They will have Andre Morgan in for Cole Dorsey and Stephen Oliver in for Clyde Adams. And for the Colts, it'll be Mark Pollard and Anthony Jenkins and Jake Byron out. Considine in for Byron. Boomer Jones in for Jenkins, as well as Jarquez Wilson in for Mark Pollard. So here we are. We got the Chargers and the Colts. This is the final game of the week. 24-16, 30-16, and that's it. Colts win. Julian Watson, 22 of 32, 327 yards and 3 touchdowns. Drew Caldwell ran the ball like crazy as well as Victor Smith catching. So now Watson comes in. He got injured very early in the last game where Darius Ellison basically played the whole thing. And he's played really well there. Caldwell ran for -1 yards last week and got injured very early, and he's ran for 120 this week. Victor Smith, 161 yards and a touchdown, receiving on 11 catches. And a touchdown, yeah, I think I said that. Bob Soli, 6 catches, 117, and a touchdown. So their 2 receivers have been really good for the Colts. They are now 1-1. They get that much-needed win. And the Chargers lose even with John Tutelli, 49 of 69, 494 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. QBR is not amazing. Top runner, 47 yards. And that guy is Grant Baker, who also ran for 2 touchdowns on 15 carries. Corey Goner, 14 catches, 171 yards, as well as 6 carries for 21. Wow. And wow, Zane Hyman, 5 sacks. He had 3 of them in their win against the Raiders and 2 of them here against the Colts in that loss. But he's up to 5 sacks in the first 2 games. And he's not even in the Defensive Player of the Year race, which makes literally no sense. But here we go. We've got the Browns and Jets at 2-0 in the AFC, with the Raiders and Titans at 0-2. In the NFC, we had the Packers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Vikings, Bears at 2-0, and the Panthers, Falcons, Niners, and Seahawks at 0-2. New Orleans is 0-1, as well as Cincinnati and Houston, and then Miami is 1-0. So, after 2 weeks in the league, we got Summers, Meredith, Hotch, Wall, Perkins, Johnson, and Bigelow over 500 yards. That's a good amount of people. Summers, even in their 2 losses, has 299 pass yards per game. That's incredible. And Garth and Huff are over 200 rush yards, with Dier and McKay over 150. So 4 guys over 150 yards. And then receiving, we got 6 guys over 200 right here. And yeah, defensively, 5 sacks for Heyman, 4 for Sampson, Hines, and Evans. 2 of those guys are on the Jets. And then 2 picks for Larson and Kohler. So that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time. And also, I will attach below the link to my new YouTube channel with my brother. He's running that channel, but it's a podcast with the, mostly for the NFL. Yeah. And yeah, I'll send that link. One last thing though, which is very weird. This team is 1-1 and they have 80 points. And they have a rating of 33 as they won 52-15 this week after losing 28-32 to Miami. That was a close game, yeah. So that they won a huge game. They have what the heck? 11 teams in the AFC out of 16 have a losing point differential. Wow. They are tied with the Jets, or not Jets, tied with the Browns for the best point differential in the league, even though they're 1-1. That is a bit weird. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.